Hey guys, I thought I'd pop back on with another quick vid. Excuse me. Got a little extra chart up here. It's the ionospheric electric potential with polar cap. Now this was something that I had noted in my previous video, that Astral Traveler was making a pretty big deal out of this. And from what I've been able to discern, uh, these numbers here, the plus, of course, that's the plus charge, and there's the negative. Whenever they get to be a great deal of difference between the two, for instance, that one's like running around in the mid-teens. This is running around in the mid-teens to upper 30s. I'd say when it goes above 30, a 30 difference, so this would only be like maybe 20 or less over the course of this run, the difference between the negative and positive. Now in the last vid I was taking the sum totals and making that significant, but I don't think that's the case. It's basically this one's, see how it's running, minus 20, 18, 25, 26, and that's plus 19, 17, 18, 19. So anyway, I noticed it from I started looking at the earthquakes, and I know we had a few big earthquakes a couple of days previous to this, and I noticed that when this polar cap potential became 30 or more, that's when these big quakes popped off within a couple of hours. So I'm not saying this is a great way to predict. Well, I'd say it's a great way to predict big earthquakes, but as far as predicting where they're going to be at, that's a whole nother story. I'd say that Dutch Sin's pretty well got that nailed down, but I wish his videos were a little more concise, because he just loves to talk, that guy. But he's full of information, so I mean, it's well worth a listen. But if you get the gist of what he's saying, you can kind of figure out where the next big quake might be. So I pulled this up just to show you that we haven't had any really significant earthquakes in the last few days. The last one being 708 UTC in the Timor region. Now, I don't think this goes back quite that far, but we'll see. It might. 828. Now I have these all pretty well synced up. All these charts are pretty well synced up. And as you can see, other than a little bit of crimpling going on with the magnetopause simulation, which indicates, of course, backside pressure. And you can see that from these arrows. I have a couple of pretty large energy buildups I noticed throughout here when the field lines became closed, and some big red and black balls build up, and here it indicates the plasma discharge here. Now, as I think I indicated on another video, if you look at the Z cut, I believe that's looking straight down from like top down view, north south, straight through the earth. And this one's looking at a more equatorial view from a sideways position, this Y cut. So you could see there, that's going on. I don't think it did come back as far as 828.08. But that's something to keep an eye on. If anyone wants to monitor the solar ionospheric electric potential with cap. It's on the ISWA monitors. And I'll put the links below the video. Anyway, here's like the latest. I got an earthquake 3D. And I spent the extra 20 bucks so you get the indication of a raised circle of exactly how deep the earthquake is. The whiter the lines, if you've been watching Dutch Sense, you would notice that's the earlier the earthquake as they get darker. And I only have it set back to 2 days. If you set it, hook it on the 7-day, so the last quakes in the 7-day period, it's counted by USGS. Of course, they don't count them all by any stretch, but these are supposedly all the ones 4.5 or greater worldwide and 2.5 or greater in the United States or North America, it looks like. Yeah, well, in the United States, I would say, since that's picking up Alaska. See, we got quite the cluster here. If you just, and then you can play around with the magnitudes. This is a free download. It's Earthquake 3D. I don't know why this is showing up 2.8, because I have it up to 7 magnitude. But as you can see, we had a couple of 7s. At 8.1 gone from Fiji. Or no, there it is, there. No, that's 7.1. So remember we had the 8.1, a real deep one. This one wasn't so deep. Pop back to 6 magnitude. I'll show you what's going on. But anyway, I would recommend getting that free download, Earthquake 3D. I think it's wolton.net, WOLTON.net. And it works good for a screensaver. Now here, this is a great tutorial. I put the link up again underneath my video. This details what that blue phi angle means. I always wondered, but about a month or so ago, I finally came across this, and quite significant. If it's in the 180-degree mark, that means it's our sun to Earth connection. If it's at the 0-degree mark, that would mean that we're pointing at the sun. So that would be from the Earth to the sun. So there shouldn't be anything beyond 180 degrees. Now here's the ACE real-time solar wind for the last 3 days. I'll put the link down below the video. Take it back to the last 7 days, and I got the magnetic field solar wind EPM monitor pulled up. So here's the phi angle. Click full screen. So here's the 180. That's supposed to be indicate a direct connection from Earth to the sun, and 0 is from the sun to the Earth. Now, anything above 180 is indicating a connection of and if consequently, if you just go by their reasoning, so a 360 would be the sun to the extrasolar body behind the Earth, or no, maybe it would be 180. But anyway, anything above 180, the Earth is making some kind of a connection with an extrasolar body behind our planet. Now here you can see what I'm talking about, this phi angle. measure an interplanetary magnetic field connections. Now here's all these blue interplanetary magnetic field lines. There's only supposed to be like maybe 9 of them, maybe a couple more, maybe with links from the sun to our satellites of some type of magnetic field connection, but I wouldn't think that would be very great. So we should only have around 9 of these blue field lines showing up, but as you can see we got a ton more than 9, so that would indicate another indication along with the phi angle connection of some type of a solar body or something that has a large magnetic field similar to our sun, which I would say must be the binary twin Nemesis making connection with the Earth from behind. And with all these extra interplanetary magnetic field lines, that would be from Nemesis to all the other planets in our solar system, and also all the other planets in its solar system, Nibiru being one, supposedly, the name of, and maybe 5 or 6 more, and plus a couple of moons. I don't think they'll be connected magnetically. But so you see what I'm saying? We've got so that would make like 18 between our sun and this sun with all the known 9 planets. Plus we got maybe another 7 more, so that'd add like 7 times 2 magnetic field connections. So that would bring it up to like another 14. So there you got 32 interplanetary magnetic field connections. I don't count 32 here, but there's quite several, and there's a bunch of them bunching up right in front of our planet, which that's pretty strange. But anyway, there you have that. Also, within this solar ham tutorial, click on this Lagrange point. That shows you different points where they can put satellites up in orbit, which will maintain a fixed position, like where you see it here. That's where it always stays relative to the sun and the earth. The ACE satellite that I showed you, excuse me, the data from is right here, which is like 1.5 million kilometers from the earth toward the sun, which I think it computes out to around 930,000 miles above the earth. This would be where the stereo behind satellite is, which supposedly has been down for quite a while now. Don't get any pictures from there. And there's the stereo ahead satellite. They really don't have anything parked out here that they show it. They're showing us anyway. They probably, I'm sure, do, but we're not seeing what that's shooting. Okay, I'll leave you with one last thing, showing you the Venturi sky again. Cloud formations, pockmarked all around the Earth in this weird grid pattern. It's been like this since at least April, and it's matching up with this grid pattern around the sun. And I would say click full screen for sure, way lower right down here, that box. Click that and you'll be able to see this a lot better. This is on the SDO A1A 335 angstroms. You can see this grid pattern showing up around the sun. It also shows up pretty well on the 94 angstrom. And then if you click it over here to SOHO on the EIT monitor, go up to 304, it shows up here, and tighter grid pattern, and 195. So there's further indication that we definitely have some kind of an electromagnetic connection going on with the Earth and our sun and this Nemesis thing, because these grid patterns never showed up until Nemesis got parked behind the Earth. And like I said, it's been showing up since at least April, and I got a pretty good vid on it, April 6th vid, that if you want to check out. So anyway, I'm running out of time. I'll put all the links below. Keep checking this solar cap potential thing, and I'll also put those couple of links to a couple astral traveler videos that reference the polar cap potential. Okay, God bless. I'm out. Love you in the Lord. Take care. Peace out.